High School. We're about 20 minutes away or so from tip-off. I'll bring in my partner, Warren Goodlean, here in a moment. We'll get things started here tonight with a quick preview of this game with Lebanon head coach Tim Spiro. And, Coach, you were in this game a year ago. Welcome.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.
Give us some thoughts on what we can expect here tonight. You just played LS a couple of nights ago in the quarters. You played Hempfield earlier this season. You lost to both. Unfortunately, you didn't get back here to defend your title. But let's start first with LS because they're the freshest on your mind right now. What do we expect from this LS team here tonight against Hempfield?
Just a lot of outside shooting. You got to obviously take care of Burton. He's their motor. He makes them go. And the hard part about them is then there's still three shooters around him. And it's just tough to cover everybody. You can't help too much to take care of Burton because those guys are going to knock down shots too.
Hempfield, much more slower, methodical pace, and you were in a lower scoring game with them when you played them now. to your credit, you guys had a really good season, and you didn't have Luke Collins, your point guard, too. So that's a big factor because, obviously, if he is there, he can knock down shots. We saw him all last season up until the district game against Hempfield. Did the game, obviously, last year here against Hempfield, but that's a big factor. But they are much more of a methodical pace. And Charlie Fisher, the Mannheim Central coach, had said the other night after the game against LS, you have to have length to defend them.
Right.
They have length in the backcourt for sure. Is that enough to neutralize this offense here tonight?
I know Coach Walk's going to hope so. But, they do have some size. Overball, obviously, is really long. I think they'll create some matchup problems. I know against Warwick, Hester went inside a little bit against them and got a couple buckets. So it's going to be interesting to see how the perimeter of LS against the size and kind of slower pace of Hempfield and see who wins that battle.
Walk me through what these coaches are going through because they've both been here before. Ed Berryman won a title in 2018. Danny was just here last year with Hempfield, and Hempfield has been here forever. This is going to be their 11th trip to a championship game in the league. But walk me through now. Last year was a little bit different. Crowd's not going to be what it is here tonight. It was bigger than what most of them were all season, but it feels a little bit more normal this year than it did last year. But just kind of take me through, and plus you guys played on a Saturday last year too.
Right.
So that was a lot different than having to be on a Friday night. You had more time to think about it. It was an early afternoon game. What are these two coaches thinking about when they're in the locker room right now? What's going through their mind?
I think just double and triple checking the scouting report, making sure they didn't miss anything, giving just little tidbits to different players, maybe just little motivational things to each player, challenging players. Making sure that kids are hitting their goals for rebounds and defensive schemes. Just everything's going through your mind. You're just trying to make sure that you didn't forget something that is going to have a factor in the game.
What were you thinking last year when you were here? What was you guys seemed like you were hot at the right time. You were just on this mission to go win this game, and you battled all year with Warwick. You had battles with E-Town.
Right.
Same thing again this year. We'll talk about that in a minute, but. What were you thinking? What were you, how big of a deal is this? Obviously, we're looking at the bracket here for a district championship, and you'll be involved in this starting next week. This is bigger on paper, and what's after this is bigger on paper too. But compared to some of these other conferences around here, maybe Berks is the only other one that compares this. This is a big deal for these teams in this league.
Absolutely. You play against these teams all summer long. You go to team camps. You're playing against these teams again, and then you see them, one or two times during the year, and you just want to prove yourself, and it's something to be said when the next year you can walk into a gym and say, we're the defending champs, and try to defend your title, and that's what these guys are fighting for right now.
Now, last year we were all talking up here when you sat down. You looked a little bit different. Much more longer hair. You had a longer beard. You cleaned up this year. I'm a little disappointed.
I know. I guess I should have kept it. It was good luck last year. I should have kept it. Should have kept it rolling for this year, but it'd probably be in the middle of my back right now. So
nothing wrong with that. It's 2022. Things are different now.
Yeah.
How about your team? Luke Collins, obviously a big loss. He's so exciting to watch. I remember watching him as a freshman, and thinking that there was an it factor with him. He had his moment where he came back, hit the three a couple nights ago. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you're not going to have him, but you guys are still in the district tournament. You're going to play Warwick, oddly enough, on Tuesday night at Warwick. 16-8. Just size up the season you guys had.
We started out strong, had rattled off a bunch of wins in a row, and then kind of hit a stretch where we were just losing games late, fourth quarter leads, and just letting them slip away. We could say a lot of that has to do with not having Luke. You have a floor general for 3 years. Not only do I look to him at times, but the kids look to him. So that was and we didn't have the whole summer to prepare for it because his injury happened in our last kind of shootout that we were going to in September, and it was a learning curve for everybody, myself included, but mostly the players. They had to learn how to control the pace at the end, take care of the ball, and we struggled. We got into some tight games and we struggled, but we started to pick it up towards the end of the season and, managed to get ourselves into LLs and into districts. So,
do you like playing Warwick to start things, or would you rather play somebody else and then maybe get them later?
Funny, I was just talking to Coach Christensen over here, and we were just joking about having to play again, and might as well set up another game in the middle of March or something. Feel like we play each other every 2 weeks. But, when you play someone that much, you want to just play other teams. You want to play someone that you're not familiar with and just get out and battle somebody else. But we play whoever we line up with, and we know it's gonna be a battle every time we've played them in the last 2 years. It's been an absolute war. So
you win that game, you play Cumberland Valley next Friday. You're on the non-Reading side of the bracket. That's obviously the team everybody looks at, defending
right.
state champs. And, I mean, obviously, and this is no disrespect to anybody else in the bracket, you probably want to avoid them as long as you possibly can. Get a little bit of momentum, lock up a state bid so you don't necessarily have to – you want to win the game, but you don't have to, kind of have that pressure's off you to get to states at that point.
Right.
But you win on Tuesday, you're in. It's as simple as that. You're going to play for a state berth if you win Tuesday night.
Right,
so
right.
Why not against Warwick?
Why not?
You have such a great rival in Cedar Crest, and those games are always such a thrill to watch. And in some years we get them 4 times, sometimes only a couple. This rivalry with Warwick, though, is starting to become something that's fun to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd say over the past maybe 5 years, I mean, it's been tough. It's tough going there. It's a war when they come to our place. It's definitely our second biggest rivalry right now, behind Cedar Crest.
How do you feel about going forward with the program, with the state of the program? Just give us a quick look at maybe what beyond this season. I know you still got a lot in front of you this year, but beyond this season, are you set up nicely? How's the JV program? What's the youth like on the roster right now?
We lose 8 seniors, so that we're going to take a pretty big hit this year. And our JV team was decent, not great, but decent. So it's going to be very open. There's going to be a lot of competition for playing time next year, because for the most part we're playing all seniors, a little bit of a one junior, one sophomore, one freshman, and that's pretty much it. So there's going to be competition for spots next year, and see how it plays out.
Enjoy this one tonight.
All right,
we really
thank you.
appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
Lebanon coach Tim Spiro joining us here tonight on the pregame show. Pregame show and tonight's game is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster, proud to be presenting sponsor of the Lancaster Lebanon League and its championship events. To learn more about Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster, visit fixbones.com. That's FIXBONES.com. We'll bring in Warren Goodley, my partner here tonight. As always, one final go this season as we bring in this LL Boys Championship game. It is Hempfield and Lampeter Stroudsburg, 23-0. The Pioneers of LS. We've seen them a couple of times. We just saw Hempfield a couple of nights ago. Coach Goodling joins me here tonight. And as always, what do you think about this one? This is a contrasting styles. Coach Spiro just said the same thing. If LS gets out and runs, you got problems. If Hempfield drags you down in that low-scoring game, you got problems.
It's a matter of which team can instill their will on the other. Hempfield doesn't want to get in a running game. They'll pick their spots to go get an easy bucket, but they don't want to get up and down with LS. And LS, the same token, they don't really want to play a slower game. I think they can, but they don't really want to. So beginning of the season, if you had to ask me who might be in the LL championship, I might have said these 2 teams. And as the season unfolded, we had some other teams that were in contention, but all said and done, here they are meeting in the finals, and it's a great matchup.
It really looked like, and we saw LS early on, and we saw Hempfield early on. In fact, we saw Hempfield here early on just absolutely control Manheim Township, a team that they end up sharing Section 1 with. And we saw LS, and we were kind of thinking at one point, I agree with you, we thought we'd see these 2 teams, and then we thought maybe we'd see LS and Columbia, and then Columbia hits a little bit of a speed bump, they get knocked out. This Hempfield team, aside from LS, these are likely, and you may agree with this, the 2 most consistent teams in this league all season, I would think.
I think so. And, Hempfield had to navigate the Section 1, Section 2 games. A lot of good teams in both of those divisions. They had to navigate those every week, and then they had good non-league games. So I think their schedule has helped prepare them to be in this moment tonight.
Charlie Fisher, the Manheim Central coach, said after their game against LS the other night, and this is a direct quote from Mike Gross's story in Lancaster Online, I think you have to have length at the guard position as to how to stop this team. Well, the two guards that Hempfield will throw at this LS team tonight, Miguel Pena, and Parker Wolf, both 6'2".
Right.
That's a big factor tonight in how this game goes.
And the other thing is, Michael Hester has been guarding guards also,
right.
And he's 6'3" and strong. And if you remember against Township, Cole Overball guarded Seth Miller, the point guard. So they're pretty versatile on defense of how they can match up. And it's going to be interesting to see how they come out to start.
LS averages almost 8 offensive rebounds a game this season, too. And we have talked in the past, especially when we've been at LS for a couple of games this season, at how good they are on the boards. That's a big battle tonight as well. And you get those extra 8 possessions or those extra 8 chances. If they can do that here tonight, they may end up winning this thing.
Well, they don't really get the offensive boards with pure size. They get it with the anticipation. They have spacing on their offense, so as a result, it's harder to box them out when you have that spacing, and they go anticipate where the ball's going and they go get it.
The 2 point guards tonight, we're going to talk a lot about them. Ty Burton is averaging 30 a game in this tournament, and Miguel Pena is he's one of my favorite players to watch. I think you would agree with that too. Do those two guard each other? What do we see there? How does those two cancel each other out?
That's the thing I'm very interested in seeing how it comes out, and if they are going to guard each other, because they're both outstanding players. Their skill set is a little bit different, but the end result is they help their team win, and they're both going to play in college.
You know Danny Walk so well. You've coached with him. You've taken this Hempfield team to this very game in the past. They got here last year. They lost a 1-point game to Lebanon, and they had a chance to tie the game on the free throw line with less than 2 seconds to go, 1.6 seconds to go, and they didn't do that. Free throw shooting's been an issue for this Hempfield team again this season. If it comes down to it, are they making the free throws this time?
Well, you know, they made it the other night because Michael Riker went to the line and made 4 straight, like less than 30 seconds. And so they got out of there alive the other night because Michael Riker made 4 in a row. But they're going to have to do a little bit consistently throughout the course of this game because LS, I don't know if they're the leading foul shooting team in the league, but they're shooting like 72%. So
they're one of them.
That has to be way up there.
Burton, by the way, 9 20-plus point games this season. Again, 33 against Manheim Central. He's averaging 30 in the LL tournament. Just to run down some of the numbers for this LS team. Their closest game this season was a 3-point win against Bishop McDevitt. Their second closest was against Manheim Central the other night. They are beating teams by an average of 20, almost 24 points a game. 21 of 23 games have been decided by 10 or more points. They are the best offense in this league without question.
Right.
And we'll see if Hempfield can slow them down here tonight. Tonight's game is brought to you by Orthopedic of Lancaster, the LL Refs, Gardner Mattress, Hearts Physical Therapy, Grosh Law, Lewis Agency, Spooky Nook, Dan Taylor, H&L, and Sable McKinney. We thank them for their sponsorship of tonight's championship broadcast here from a packed Manheim Township High School. It is so good to see this gym filled to capacity. We saw this a couple years ago when we had that great Warwick Township battle here. Last year it was about half full, but still one of the biggest crowds that we saw all season long here. But now you can, I think, officially say the LL title game is back with this packed house here tonight.
And this is what this game has traditionally been, whether it's on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon. It's been a packed house here at Township. Great place to have the game.
Starting lineups for Hempfield tonight, it's Pena and Wolf in the backcourt. You already heard us talk about them. Hester, Overball, and Troyer. Troyer picked up those fouls early the other night against Warwick and was able to stay on the floor till late in that game when it got pretty tight. For LS, you know about Burton. I mean, he's only averaging 21 a game and hit almost 53 pointers this season. He's sensational, all-state player as a freshman a year ago. He is joined by Isaiah Peridot. Berkeley Wagner is going to get the start tonight. He did not play in the semifinal game against Manheim Central the other night with a lower body injury, but he is back in the starting lineup here tonight. So they have some depth. Smucker and Luke Hines can obviously come in if they need some help at the depth position, but Berkeley Wagner back in the lineup tonight. Ben Wirt, Luka Vranek, and Wagner round out the starting 5 for LS. LS will be the home team tonight. You see them in the white uniforms there. And we got you covered all over the gym tonight. Bruce Badgley is down on the floor. I'll give you some of the angles down there. Halftime tonight, we'll talk to Manheim Township head coach Matt Johns. Always a pleasure to have him as our halftime guest for this title game. And then afterwards, we'll have an extended post-game show with our player of the game, and likely the winning coach will come up as well if we can get a hold of them. Lineups have been introduced. We'll listen to tonight's national anthem, and then we'll tip this off. It is the Lancaster-Lebanon League Championship game right here tonight from Manheim Township. You're watching it live on llhoops.com. You saw the lineups a couple of minutes ago, and we are set to go here from Manheim Township High School. Full student sections, full crowd, standing room only around the rail up by us here tonight. And this figures to be a pretty good game as these two will battle for the Lancaster-Lebanon League Championships. They are both, by the way, in the district tournament. Hempfield has a bye in the 6A bracket. They will await the winner of Cedar Cliff and Muhlenberg. That will be on Tuesday night, and then they will host the winner of that game a week from tonight at Hempfield High School. Down in the 5A bracket, LS, no surprise, number 1 seed, they will take on Mechanicsburg out of the Mid-Penn Keystone on Monday night. That'll be at LS High School. And again, remember the higher seeds host the district playoff games throughout the tournament up until the championship, which will be at Giant Center. 5A is on Thursday, March 3rd, and the 6A is Saturday, March 5th. We are set to go. The tap controlled by Hempfield, and Troyer has it right off the bat underneath to Hester. He lays it up and in for the first bucket of the night.
Well, that's the old tap play. The old tap play, and it worked tonight.
Again, Wagner is back in the starting lineup along with Vranick, Peridot, Burton, and Wirt for LS. Wirt had a strong game in the semis. He tries to get going early, and that one's knocked away.
Well, again, that was good defense by Hester. He was strong at the basket and forced Wirt to go out a little bit, made a little bit difficult shot.
Already we see the defensive assignment. It's going to be Vranick on Pena on this side of the floor. Burton will draw Wolf. And the ball drives, gets tied up in traffic and travels.
Okay, that was a patient possession by Hempfield. Now LS.
Patient possession. We saw Hempfield really work the clock early in that game. Wagner fires straight away. No. Rebound to Wirt. Back up top to Wagner to reset things here. Minute 15 gone in this LL championship tilt.
And Pena is guarding Burton on the offensive end.
Top to Wirt with this defense by Hempfield early on.
And you can see the defense has slowed LS down already because they're usually not making this many passes for a shot.
Vranick cuts across the foul line of the bucket. Over ball there to defend him, and Vranick's going to get the roll.
Okay, well, he got to his left side. And I think when you guard him, you don't want to let him get to his left. But that was, LS showed that they could be patient on offense also.
Inside over ball, no, and Vranick one-hands the rebound.
LS is good to front the post, so that lob pass will be there.
Wagner for three, no. Second one he's missed, and the rebound by Wolf.
And that's LS's game, trying to get an open three on transition. They've done that all year successfully.
They're going to start chucking threes like nobody's business. Burton tonight hit a big one before the quarter. Pena will pull up for three, and it's off the mark. Rebound controlled by Peridot, off to Burton.
This is where Burton's explosive, right here.
Pulls up from deep, in and out.
Yep. See, they're not afraid. They've already made a number of three-point attempts, and I don't think they did not hit one yet. But they're definitely looking to pull the trigger on that.
Two of the higher scoring teams, higher field goal, in terms of field goals made, as Burton gets the rebound in the LL. They both rank in the top 8 in terms of field goals made. Burton spins around to Wirt. Wirt drives to the bucket, lays it in.
And you know, Wirt's an outstanding shooter, but that first step that he can get to the rim is very impressive.
52 to go here in the first quarter. Two-point lead for LS. Hester, straightaway three-pointer, high arcing, misses everything. That one rolls up into the LS student section. We'll go back the other way with 4:42 to go in the opening quarter.
Okay, Coach Eddie Behrman called out a set this time. Let's see what they run. They're going to start with the ball screen for Burton.
Drives in the lane. That one is rejected by Troyer.
And there's the length that we talked about the other night. Burton got to the rim, but he got blocked, I think, by the sophomore for Hempfield. Troyer.
High on the inbound to Peridot. Peridot right down the lane, shifts directions, goes over the other hand, and there is a foul on the floor, and that'll be against Peridot for LS. The first foul called on either side with 4:25 to go.
Both teams feeling each other out. All right, here's a set play from Coach Walk.
2-point lead for LS, 6 combined points. Hester inside, over ball foul line jump on the way, no. Rebound, Franek again. Down the floor, switches direction. Franek on overball, off balance, no. Great defense by overball.
Yep. He just did his job. He stayed big and made Branny alter his shot.
And he finds Hester and whip it inside to overball. Quick turn and fire, no. Wagner keeps it alive, and here comes LS again. Burton's already taken one deep three. There's Peridot.
Parker Wolf's assignment tonight is just to stay on Parado and not let him get an open shot. And so far he's done that, keeping him from getting an open shot in the perimeter.
Crossover by Burton and is fouled by Pena.
Okay, so that's something Pena does not want to do. He doesn't want to reach on Burton. Just stay in front of him. Here's a box out of bounds play.
Pull up three, deep again, no. Rebound, Troyer. Burton just a little off early on.
Yep. They haven't hit a three yet, LS. They're definitely looking to do that.
They don't want to get in that low score. They want to push the tempo. No question about that. They want to make this as high scoring as possible.
And we're at 4-2 right now. 4-2. Over halfway through the first quarter. So I think it's sort of Hempfield's pace, really.
It is their pace early on, for sure, as Troyer backs it out. Good defense, man-to-man by LS. As Wolf, they're trying to go backdoor, great denial by Peridot.
And so far, what you've seen, both teams, their half-court defense has been outstanding, really. You have to give them credit for the defensive effort on both teams. Again, this is a typical long Hempfield possession, and they get exactly what they wanted.
All right, overball inside, lays it in.
See, that's discouraging when you play defense that long and you give up a layup. But that's definitely in Hempfield's plan.
Reno and Wart up top for LS. Wagner, you see him standing there on the foul line. You notice that he's got that brace on his right ankle. He's had a couple of ankle issues this season. Burton has one as well. He gets away from traffic but has to kick it out. Wagner thought about the three-footer off the glass, rolls
That's
in.
a really tough shot. Really tough shot.
6-4 LS as we come up on 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Ball inside. Now they rotate it over to Troyer from the baseline. Great defense to tie him up. Pena for three up top, in and out.
That's a good look for Pena. He'll make that.
There's Burton again. The other way. Burton with that quick step, switches directions, goes, lays it up. No, and overball the rebound.
Little scoop shot. Got it to the rim, just barely missed it. A great move, just couldn't finish it.
Pull the trigger on the three the other way, and he drains it.
And he's a sophomore, and he's playing like a junior for sure. Maybe a senior, the way he's played so far in the playoffs.
2-point lead for Hempfield. Perino the other way, hits a three of his own.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to do. When you get a three, don't give up a three at the other end. But Parado, he was perfect on his footwork that time.
LS wrangles the lead right back as we're down to 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Great job. The overball swatted out of there by Burton. Vranic up ahead. Three-pointer on the way again. No. The rebound loose. Wagner hands it back to Burton. Head fake. Pull up three by Burton. Drains that one.
That's the transition threes. That's the transition threes that Hempfield is afraid of.
Closing seconds down to three. Pena's going to have to do something with it. Lobs it or throws it up towards the bucket. And it was tipped out of bounds as time expires in the first. Well, a late first quarter surge by LS has given them a 12-7 lead after one. Tonight's game is brought to you by Gardner's Mattress. Gardner's Mattress and more, your Wake Up Happy store, guaranteed with our 120-night Wake Up Happy guarantee. Located at 830 Plaza Boulevard in Lancaster, behind the Park City Mall. Call them at 717-299-6228. Now, Hempfield played solid defense in that quarter, but man, does LS get after you when they get going.
Well, when they get a loose ball or a rebound and they get the ball to Burton, that ball is from one end to the other, and the other guys on LS are athletic and fill the lane, and they'll have somebody running to the basket. They'll have that three-point shooter lurking at the three-point line, so if they cover the guy at the basket, they throw it to the three-point shooter.
Mentioned the field goals made this season. Hempfield with 345, LS with 381. But three-pointers, LS, 198 of them coming in tonight. So they're at 200 made threes this season. Hempfield at 139.
Yeah, and Hempfield has 139, which is really good.
That is really good.
LS, 198. That's in a different league.
And it certainly is. And we did talk about the 21 of 23 games they've won by 10 or more. There were 59 combined points between Central and LS in the fourth quarter on Wednesday night in the semifinals. So points, just a galore, as Burton will start things in the second with another three.
Well, now they switched that time, and Troyer guarded him instead of Troyer guarded Burton that time instead of Pena. And Burton used his experience of putting some dribble moves on, getting his footwork together, and bingo, he hit the three.
Hester to inbound. It's Hester, Wolf, Pena, Troyer, and Overball. So no changes for Danny Walk.
No changes for LS either.
Nope. They keep the starting five out. And it's a good sign to see for LS with Wagner, who, again, missed that whole semifinal game against Central. Burton missed 4 games this year as well. They won all 4 of them. Deep three by Pena. On the way is good.
And there he had a great look, and he's going to light it up if you give him that much time. Much needed basket.
Drives, tied up at the foul line, hands it off to Vranic. Wagner, here comes the motion offense. Wagner, a little scoop, and he gets the fall.
And that's the value of Wagner. He can score from the perimeter, but he's a strong enough finisher to finish that basket. Now they front the post down there.
4, Pena, pull up, contested by Vranic, hits the back of one of the players. Burton will come out of traffic with it. It's a 7-point lead for LS. Another pull-up by Burton, in and out this time. Hester the rebound for his.
Yep, he's definitely feeling it.
baseline. Hester. Pena again. Vranic guards him. Troyer. Wolf. Pull up three against Burton. No. Rebound. Tapped around. Loose and Overball controls it. Out to Pena for three. Got it.
See, that's a nice play by Overball. And that deadly three, when you get an offensive rebound, it's a scramble situation. You find your three-point shooter. That's exactly what Hempfield did.
Back-to-back threes.
Nice play by Cole Overball. Nice shot by Pena.
Well, it's back-to-back threes by Pena, so it's down to 4. Vranic. Wagner. Overball draws him. Hand it off to Burton. He'll shoot it from there. Don't dare him to. Burton behind the back. It's by Hester. Hester stays with him and swats it out of bounds.
Clean block by Hester. Great move by Wirt, but Hester stayed strong. He stayed solid and went straight up at the basket.
There's that length by Hempfield's defense. It's come to play a couple of times already tonight. Burton crossover, split the double team, but Pena stuck his hand right in there to knock it away. To the bucket, Pena got it to fall. He's got 8 straight for Hempfield, and the Knights pulled in 2.
But that was a great defensive play by Pena, who came off the help side.
Quick catch and shoot three the other way is no good, and Hester another rebound.
And now all of a sudden, Hempfield got their game going.
Pena looks down the floor, finds Overball, catches and turns.
What a great pass by Pena, but an even greater catch and finish by Cole Overball. And Hempfield says we can run too.
What a rally by Hempfield here in this second. We're almost midway through, and they've tied it at 17. Inside to Wagner, had it go off his thigh. Berkeley Wagner will re-collaborate the offense. Vranic lost it. Good defense again by Overball. Steps in there, and we got a foul. It's going to be on Vranic. Yes, it will.
No, I think they said Vranic was out of bounds. I don't think it was a foul.
All right, good call.
I think when Vranic had his hand on the ball, his foot was out of bounds.
Referee right on top of things as we get our first sub of the night. Chase Smucker, the talented freshman for LS, is into the game, number 4.
Okay, and Ben Troyer now has Ty Burton guarding him. Ty Burton's giving away some height on that matchup.
Drives and then hands it off to Overball, back to Pena. He's got the hot hand for his head.
They're trying to get Troyer inside on that. You notice how he posted up last time.
Troyer bounces off Burton, up to Pena again. Crossover, Pena lost the defender. Three-pointer on the way, no. Rebound loose, and it is stolen away by Troyer. And they call a jump ball. The arrow is going to favor LS.
Yep.
Now are they going to say timeout? Do they grant the timeout?
I think they're going to give the ball to Hempfield.
All right, so
They got the arrow, so.
Okay.
Yep. But what a great, this is a championship game. You see guys on the floor for loose balls. There's no messing around with loose balls tonight. You better dive on the floor to get it.
Arrow did favor Hempfield there. Now they have switched it to LS. 3:44 to go in the first half. We are tied at 17 as Pena drives. Back up top to Hester. And Troyer in the corner again.
Again, they're looking to get the ball inside for an easy layup, or maybe they'll get an open shot with Pena. A turnover.
Yep, Wirt stuck his hand in there. Vranic the other way, off balance. No, the follow by Smucker is there.
And there's the freshman who's played a great role for them coming off the bench this year.
He is a talented.
Yeah, he's really going to be a good player when he gets a little bigger and stronger. He's a good player now, but great future ahead of him.
Think about what all this LS team lost, too. Nick Del Grande did not play. He is head of the coach of Carolina. Some other guys opted out this season, did not play. And then they lost Sean McTaggart from a season ago.
Right.
He was really good a season ago. Shortened years. Overball with a nice move to adjust and score.
Yeah, let's see, Overball has done a great job of just gathering himself inside and making sure he's going up strong. He was very patient on that move that time.
6. We're tied at 19 as we come up on 2:35 to go in the first half. Wagner will drive this time on Pena. And
That's a tough shot. I mean, Pena did everything he could to play D, and Wagner just made a really, really tough shot.
6 points for Wagner. You can see him back in the lineup. Overball out of control, no call. Hester keeps it alive. Pena for three, rattles around and out.
Parker Wolfley rebound.
Sure did. Step back three, and he nails it.
Incredible. Hempfield's getting a bunch of offensive rebounds right now.
Outworking LS on that side as they take a 1-point lead. Vranic in the paint, no. And Overball the rebound defensively this time. 1-point lead for Hempfield with 1:40 to go in the half. Pena crossover. Accepting for Troyer. Troyer will pull the trigger on the three. Got it!
Yep.
Second three by Troyer. He's got 6, and it's a 4-point lead for Hempfield, their biggest of the night.
And he's guarding Burton on defense. He's done a great job.
Screen, and Burton goes around it, stops in traffic, fade away. No. Yes,
wow.
He got the roll.
That's a tough shot.
8 for Ty Burton.
Tough shot.
And it's 25-23 as we got a minute to go in the half. Pull up on the way, no. Rebound, Burton. Here comes LS. Under a minute to go. Burton stop. Bobs it. Vranic was there. They get it back to the baseline, and Smucker's jumper is off the mark. Rebound, Pena. 39 seconds to go. Danny Walker
he wants to call timeout, get the last shot.
30-second timeout to set something up here. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hearts Physical Therapy. Locally owned and independent outpatient physical therapy clinic with 5 convenient locations in Lancaster County. They specialize in orthopedic rehabilitation, aquatic therapy, post-surgery, sports injuries, and vestibular therapy. Unparalleled patient outcomes and an average net promoter score of 95 reflect their unwavering commitment to their patients. It's your choice where to go for physical therapy. Experience the difference that Hearts Physical Therapy can make in your recovery. They've been with us all season long, and we thank them for their sponsorship of our broadcasts this season and tonight here in the LL title game, where we have a 2-point lead for Hempfield and 39.4 ticks to go in the half. Great game.
They've gotten their money's worth, huh?
Yeah, you got that right.
Wow. I mean, okay, we've had some long possessions, and that mostly because of unbelievable half-court defense, and the team, the Hempfield's got what they wanted out of some of their long possessions. Now it looks like LS is playing a zone here. They're in a little matchup zone. They're trying to match up out of it. And if Hempfield runs a cutter through, follow it with a second cutter, they might get an open shot.
Michael Riker is out there, 15 for Hempfield, first time tonight. As is Chase Calabretta. That doesn't matter because Payne
that's just outstanding execution. Danny had 2 subs in there. They knew exactly what you're doing. Well-coached job on that against the zone.
5 seconds to go in the half. Burton, step back, 3 on the way. It's blocked by Riker, but it goes to Ward. He can't get a shot off thanks to Hester's defense, and that is how the half will end. Well, Hempfield down at 1 point by 10 in the second quarter rallies, and they got a 4-point lead at the half at 27-23 here in the LL championship game from Manheim Township High School. Tonight's game is brought to you by Spooky Nook Basketball, the leader for all your basketball needs, everything from tournaments, leagues, camps, and personal training, all at Spooky Nook. Well, how about that first half? We thought it might be a little higher scoring than the semi the other night with LS, or with Warwick and Hempfield, and it was, and Hempfield's shown that they can just go point for point if they have to. It's still low scoring, obviously, but we said before the game, before we went on air, that this could get in the 20s here tonight.
I mean, what impresses me right now is Hempfield, their defense has taken LS a little bit out of their game. They've had to make a lot of individual one-on-one moves to get shots off. And they're not getting the good looks that they've had maybe during the regular season. So it's not going to be as easy for them tonight to tee up all those 3 balls. That's so far in the first half. We'll see what happens in the second half. But LS, they're explosive. They can score 10, 12 points just like that. But they're going to have to really get some stops on defense so they get their fast break going.
Yeah, they will have to get some stops for sure. First half scoring numbers, as it was Pena. He did all of his damage in the second quarter. He had 10. Overball finished with 6. These are for Hempfield, by the way. Hester with 2. Wolf had 3. And Troyer hit 2 threes. He finished with 6. For LS, it was Vranek who had 2. Wagner back in the starting lineup tonight with 6. Burton had a great first half with 8, including 2 bombs from downtown. Smucker off the bench with a bucket. Perito had 3. And Ben Wirt had 2. They are honoring the LL Hall of Fame class here tonight. And among those being honored, legendary Lebanon Catholic girls coach Patty Hauer, R. Thomas Knorr, the athletic trainer at Donegal and also E-Town, Terry Engelman, who is being honored as well. He was a standout at Bloomsburg and also from Ephrata High School, and George Derbyshire, the longtime fixture at Manheim Central, where he was a teacher and also coached in wrestling, cross country, and football, and he's also the head trainer at Manheim Central High School for a long time. He is also being honored as well. So congratulations to all of them, and congratulations to Patty Hauer as they get honored here tonight at halftime. Matt Johns, the Manheim Township head coach, is our halftime guest here tonight. First of all, thanks for hosting this again. This is phenomenal tonight to see this place packed.
Hey, I love the fact that even if I'm not playing in it, I get the front row seat to this game.
Did you get parking out front, though? That's the question.
We did get parking out front.
Right.
I missed the first minute and a half of this game just because of that.
And you got a chauffeur, nice long limo. You rolled up here in a tux, I bet, right?
I'll get it somewhere. I can't promise to get it back to you.
Look, you know this Hempfield team like the back of your hand. You shared a Section 1 title with them this season. You played them here. You played them there. How about the way they battled back in that second quarter? I mean, we know they can score. You know they can score. But the way that they just withstood the body blows late in the first and came back 2-3 minutes into the second quarter, just laid it on LS there.
Payne's going to get his. Payne's going to get his shots, and Payne's going to get his makes. They're their best when they're also getting points from Troyer. They're getting points from Wolf, and they had a couple big buckets from Overball inside, too. And he might be the only inside player in this entire game. But they were able to throw it in a few times, and he made some big plays for him.
LS looked a little rattled by Hempfield's length to start things, and it looked like they figured it out there for a stretch, and then they kind of fell back into having problems with it there at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, they had some tough misses. I think they were starting to get some cutters. They hit the roll man a few times for a basket, but they also had a few that rolled in and out. So we're looking at a 4-point game, and I think they probably had 4 to 6 points just kind of roll in and out of the basket.
What do you think about the second half? What adjustments are you making? Take me inside the locker room of both guys. Let's go Ed Berryman first. If you're him, what are you telling your players at halftime?
I think Ed's probably going to talk about the ball sticking a little bit in the second quarter. I think there was a little bit of over dribbling from what he wants. I mean, while they have, like Ty Burton is a phenomenal scorer, they have so many players that can score. I think he's going to tell them that he doesn't want the ball to stick and he wants the ball to find the shot.
What if you're Danny?
I think Danny's going to say just keep grinding. I think he's going to say that we want to really attack inside a little bit, like continue to attack off of that pick and roll, find where the help is coming from, and then shoot with freedom on the weak side. And don't be afraid to throw it into Cole because he's getting played by somebody who's a phenomenal athlete. It's just. Berkeley Wagner is a consummate high school athlete. He's a phenomenal football player and a tremendous basketball player, but he's giving up some size right now.
Makes a big difference when he's back in the lineup, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't need him the other night, really, but This team knows how to win without key players, but the fact that he's back in the lineup, I think really, and Coach and I have seen enough of this team this season to understand what each of these different guys for LS brings to them, but Wagner – the first thing that Coach said to me the other night when we got to Conestoga Valley was no Wagner in the other game. And I thought, okay, and they still won by 20.
Right.
So
and Wednesday night it was evident that they gave up 67. They like to score in the 70s like they did on Wednesday night. They don't like to give up in the 60s.
And I misspoke. They won by 7 the other night. They won by 20 against Lebanon, where he, I believe, also did not play in that game. So that he was hurt in that game. So that was my mistake.
This is definitely a Hempfield pace right now.
Let's talk a little bit about this year tonight. I know you'd rather be in it. You were in it a couple years ago. You're in it every year, it seems like, in the mix anyway. But to have this here and to see this crowd show up here tonight, what's it mean to you?
I mean, it's exciting. It's incredibly exciting. I think it's exciting for our league. It's exciting for basketball in the area. This looks I know our game had a lot of people at it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
This also looks like it looked in the first few years that we held it here. So, I think the community, the larger LL community, we're hungry for this game. They're hungry to be back in gyms watching our young men compete like this. And so it's just exciting to see, and it's exciting to be a part of it.
How about how you feel about how you guys finished up this year? Obviously, you lost to Central. Do we call them a rival in basketball? I mean, I guess so, because it's same area, but maybe more so in football. But you lost to them. They had a good season. You had a solid season, too. You shared a section title with Hempfield. There's no shame in that. But it was a battle every night, up and down the section.
Oh, Section 1's tough. Section 1's always tough. And there may be years where the Section 1 champ or the Section 1 co-champ is not an elite district competitor, but you're not going to find a more competitive top-to-bottom section, I think, than you will in Section 1. Everybody can beat everybody on any given night, and I don't think you find that in many 6A sections and 6A leagues.
I won't ask you for any kind of prediction on 6A in the bracket because you've got Warwick, Lebanon, Hempfield's obviously in it, but I do have to ask, do you think that the LL has a chance for two deep runs in teams like LS and Columbia?
I think they have a chance with deep runs with LS and with Columbia. I think Hempfield has a chance because they can exert their pace and their type style of play on other teams. Don't count out Warwick. Warwick had a rough game against Hempfield on Wednesday night. That's not indicative of what Warwick has done all season. Well,
and they got a player in Landis who can go nuts at any point, and when it comes to February, March basketball, sometimes that's all he needs. That got to go nuts. You never know.
They're similar to LS. Yeah. They have a star player in Landis and very good, confident, complementary players that can score.
How about your program going forward? You're going to have to replace some parts again. It seems like we talk about this every year. You have to replace some parts, but this year it's a good mix in your lineup, but again, what are you looking forward to now, and what comes back? What are you going to build with? These guys working now. What are you doing right now?
We returned our leading scorer, Sebastian Henson. He was only a sophomore. Jordan Stewart, who was our junior varsity coach, and Nick Vici-Domini, who was a varsity assistant. They did a fantastic job with our JV team. Our JV team, I believe he said they were either 15-4, 15-5, with a freshman and predominantly sophomores that were playing. So we're really looking forward to building around that sophomore group and working with that sophomore group with a couple juniors sprinkled in. They're talented. They're not big, so I think, as we say, it's going to be a guard party again. But I think we can really spray the ball around. I think we can really push from a variety of different positions. I think it's going to be an exciting 2 years. We'll just, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to defend inside. And as a group, we're absolutely going to have to hit the weight room that's behind me, so that we're bigger and stronger.
It's pretty nice, by the way.
It's a nice weight room. Bigger and stronger, and it can really compete against 17 and 18-year-olds next year.
Do you find? Are you looking forward to the summer? I mean, it seems like summer's like a whole. There's some football players that go and play a spring season in some states, or we have spring football in some states, but basketball in this state is kind of where it's at in the summertime. I mean, it's there's leagues everywhere. Reading, Allentown, you got Pittsburgh's got a big one. Obviously, the Nook hosts, what used to really be the Smallwood League, and then there's so many others that are there now. I mean, it's become a year-round thing.
Gene from Octorara ran a great league down in the city this past summer that we were a part of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a regular, normal spring and summer off season, because even this past year we didn't have a normal spring. Summer, we were able to participate in leagues, which was great. Again, we didn't really feel like we could go to a team camp, not because we didn't want to, but because you'd look into a camp and maybe it wouldn't be running later.
Right.
And then, it's a little bit more challenging, from our perspective, to commit to an out of state overnight. That's something we need to get approved at a district level. So I'm looking forward to a normal off season this year. And we have a lot of basketball first guys, and it's going to be exciting.
All right, we look forward to talking to you next season.
Hey, anytime I can talk Township basketball and LL basketball, I'll be happy to.
Absolutely. Matt Johns, the head coach at Manheim Township, gracious host here tonight as we got Hempfield in front of LS by a count of 27-23 here at halftime of the boys Lancaster Lebanon League Championship. Again, both these teams in the district tournament, and we'll say goodbye to Coach Johns there. We thank him for coming in here tonight, as I believe he was our guest last year at halftime too, so we thank him for being a great host. This is just a sight here tonight. Standing room only around the track up top. as the two teams are back out on the floor here to shoot in the second half. And again, leading scores for each side. Burton has 8 and Pena has 10, and Pena had all 10 of those in the second quarter when Hempfield mounted its charge. Warren Goodling rejoins me here at halftime, and I'll ask you the same thing I just asked Coach Johns. Tell me from Ed Berryman's perspective and Danny Walk's perspective, what did you tell your guys at halftime?
Well, I think from Danny's perspective, like, hey, guys, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. And that starts on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, let's get the best shot that we can get each possession. Okay? And right now, Hempfield doesn't really care who scores as long as Hempfield scores. They're playing very well as a team. And on Coach Berryman's things, he needs to get some stops because when they get stops, they have a chance to run the fast break. And if they don't get stops, they're going to be bringing the ball up against Hempfield's 5-man defense. And that's not exactly what they want to do right now.
We have not seen a lot of turnovers. We have not seen a lot of fouls called.
Right.
Two teams have kind of struggled to shoot a little bit at times, maybe LS more so than Hempfield has in the first half. But
that's all because of the defense.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And actually, I mean, you look at it, and we've had, 50 points here in this first half. And it's actually been a defensive game. That's kind of the freaky part, is that it's been such a well-played game on the defensive end, and we got 50 points between the two teams.
What both coaches do on Wednesday night when they win, they go home on their way home, they talk with their assistant coaches like, who's guarding who? How are we going to match up? What do we got to do to take – that's the first – you don't talk about how we're going to score against this team. You talk about how you're going to defend them and how you're going to match up, and that's the focus, and you see that right there tonight.
Is there any advantage from a Hempfield perspective because they were just in this position last year? And they played a tight game last year against a similar team, a very good rebounding team, a very guard-heavy team that can shoot. Is there any advantage that they have?
I think so. They've been here last year in the finals, and I just think that they had a lot of close games this year. I think now that's a big advantage. Now, will they be able to make the foul shots down the stretch? That's going to be a big key in this game.
All right, we will find out. Second half is about to begin here from Manheim Township High School, as we expect the starting fives to be back out on the floor for both sides, and that would be Pena, Overball, Hester, Wolf, and Troyer. And then for LS, it would be Vranick, Wagner, Burton, Burrito, and Wirt for the Pioneers, who, by the way, are trying to stay undefeated too. So this is not win or go home. That doesn't even start on Monday night for them, because even if they were to get upset by Mechanicsburg, they still go to consolations. But at some point, they will get into a win or go home situation, and it'll be the undefeated record against going home. And who knows how they'll respond to that. But tonight, it's about winning an LL title, and they're down by 4 to start the second half.
It's all about playing this game.
So LS has it to start the second half. It is Wagner. Burrito will get it to Wart a couple seconds into this third quarter as Burton drives. Burton to the window, and he scores early.
Okay, so that possession, LS had extreme spacing that time, and they had a couple dribble handoffs, and they had good spacing, and Burton was able to take his man to the basket and not get that help with the good spacing.
Wolf guarded by Burton right up in his jersey. Hester. There's the defensive matchup with Vranick and Pena. We saw that in the first half. Screen by Hester, not used, and Pena will get it over to Hester. Into the corner to Troyer. Lob inside, over ball. He went up and down, but he did not. Now they say it will be held ball, so it's going to stay with Hempfield here as we're less than a minute into this third quarter.
Yeah, LS is going to front the post every time. Hempfield will have that lob, as long as the weak side guy gives him spacing and stays away.
Pena from the Blue Streaks logo will get it over to Wolf. Now Troyer as he makes a move. Hester. Lob inside, over ball. They double team him. Out. Goes to Wolf for three. Got it.
Yeah. Well, there you got to give the credit to Cole Overball, who got the ball with his back to the basket and found the open shooter opposite.
Parker Wolf has hit 2 threes tonight. Wagner up top. He'll take a three of his own, and he drains that. 9 for Berkeley Wagner. Welcome back to the lineup. 2-point lead for Hempfield as we are a minute and a half into the third. Hester to Wolf. Drives. Now Troyer Solid defense. Lost his man. Troyer to the window. It's blocked from behind, and then he stays with it and puts it in.
Great move by Troyer, and he stayed with it when the first shot got blocked, and he finished it.
Danny Walk has not sat down here in the third quarter. Ed Berryman looks like he's in a recliner. Perito drives out to Wagner. Wagner throws one up at the glass, and he's fouled by Pena. That is going to be foul number 1. Check that, 2
number
on
2,
Pena.
second one on Pena.
Yep. So nobody in any kind of foul.
Not really. And I think LS will try to drive the ball at him a little bit.
Wagner, as this LS team, much better at the free throw line than what Hempfield is.
Well, we'll see what happens for tonight.
Almost a full 30% better, but Wagner
missed them both.
Yeah, he goes 0 for on that trip. Keep an eye on those free throws tonight.
It's going to be huge.
Hempfield again had a chance to put this game away last year. Troyer on the side for 3. No, Burton the rebound. Pioneers can cut this to 1. Burton gets it right back, finds Wagner. Wagner with a crossover, trying to get it to work. Stripped from behind by Pena, gets it right back. Fadeaway jumper from the
blocked
foul
by
line.
Hester.
Yep, Hester got a hand on it again. Wagner open this time for 3. That's short. Burrito saves it. Wart somehow there, steps through everybody. No. Rebound loose, and it's back to Hempfield with 5:12 to go in the quarter.
Yep. Good timeout by LS right now.
And it'll be a 30-second timeout. Tonight's game brought to you by the law office of Stephen W. Grosh. When courtroom experience and advocacy matters, we stand by you in your time of need. Proudly serving Lancaster County for 15 years. He's also been with us all season long, so we thank Stephen for his support of LLHoops.com and all of our in-season broadcasts and the LL championship games here both last night and tonight. 4-point lead for Hempfield with 5:12 to go in the third quarter.
No, so again, we keep saying this. It's really all about the Hempfield defense. They are making LS a little bit uncomfortable in their half-court offense. They're not really getting what they want. They haven't really gotten work started tonight yet. Hempfield's done a great job to hold him to 2 points at this point.
Pena off the inbound. It's Pena, Hester, Wolf, Troyer, and Overball. No changes for Danny Walk's Knights.
Now LS is trying to change the momentum. They're going to go to a 1-3-1 zone.
Overball
And
skips
Hempfield
it across.
will try to work some diagonal passes, get a shooter in the corner or out top.
Pena will draw it back towards half court. Hempfield back to this patient offense that we saw a ton of on Wednesday in the semis. And it's worked effectively here tonight.
No, this is exactly, I mean, this favors Hempfield at this point because they can pass it around. LS is now trying to get it. They're going to gamble, and maybe Hempfield will get an easy one.
And you notice there's no forcing of anything with this.
No,
it's all
they're going to take what's available.
Yep.
And if they take 20 passes, they'll take 20 passes. Now, there's a mistake right there. So that did work for Coach Berryman. That time, he won that possession, even though it took, 50 seconds?
And which in this game, and you're talking about a lower scoring game than LS is used to, that's an eternity. Burrito gets it to Burton with 4:10 to go in the quarter. Burton lost the handle. Wagner try to work back door. It's cut off. Work for 3. Got it.
Okay, so there you might have found something, Eddie, because to get Word open, he set a screen and then shaped up. He's not getting open any other way, so he set a screen, shaped up, and he got the open 3.
It's down to 1. Hempfield still in control here as the pass towards the sideline out of bounds and 2 straight turnovers by the Knights.
Okay, so the 1-3-1 now. Eddie's going to stick with that because two possessions, 2 turnovers.
Burton takes it across the half-court line and hands it off to Wagner. Brannick, they run a little motion here. Burton Drives, turn around, the fade, no. Rebound over, ball, had it wrestled away from him by Vranek, and Vranek's going to get called for the foul. LS crowd does not like the call. It's the right one. That foul will be on Vranic's first. And nobody in any real foul danger here. It's one foul apiece so far, and we're over halfway through the quarter.
Let's see if Hempfield can. All right, they're going to take a timeout. Coach Walk, good move. Get his team squared away with it.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Sable McKinney, Keller Williams Elite Real Estate. Want an agent who will really listen to what you want in a home? Need an agent who knows how to effectively market your home so it sells? Give Sable a call. She's eager to help and would love to talk to you. Contact her directly at 717-291-5600. Manheim Township High School. We got 3:18 to go in the third quarter, and it's a 1-point lead for Hempfield. Eric Thomas and Warren Goodling with you here. Bruce Badgley and the rest of our crew working behind the scenes here to bring you the sights and the sounds. This has been was a good first half, very good first half. Back and forth, big runs here and there by both sides, and now it's kind of gotten down to a crawl here, but LS is trying to work its way back in here. They're down by 1. Hempfield ball out of the timeout. Wolf finds Pena.
Yep. Okay, now, so if you looked at this time, LS is playing a sort of a matchup zone. I know it looks like man, but they're switching guys off. But Varnage is following Pena everywhere he goes. They left Troyer open, and he missed a shot.
Yep.
That time it was almost like a matchup box and one.
Vranych ahead to Wagner. Three-pointer on the way by Berkeley is no good. Rebound, Perito, and he throws it. Tipped by Troyer, and Troyer comes away with it. Troyer splits the double team, and he's fouled. Let's see who that foul's on. If that's Vranych, that's number 2.
That was a little bit quick that time, I think, for LS. Even though Wagner had hit a couple threes, that might have been a little quick. They worked real hard to get that stop down there. See what they're doing. They're face guarding Pena by Vranych. He's face guarding. Now he got the ball.
Foul is on Perito.
Again, this is like a matchup box, and Pena's being guarded one-on-one. So your weak side cutters into the middle can get open if they cut from behind the defense.
Step up 3 by Wolf. No. Rebound. Tipped from behind by Burton, so it'll stay with Hempfield with 2:10 to go in the quarter.
Yep.
This has all of a sudden become last year's title game.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching a replay of last year's title game with Hempfield and Lebanon. Remember, there was a lid on the bucket. Nobody shot the ball well in the second half as Wolf drives. A lot of contact. No. Overball stays with it, and he is fouled.
Yep, you got the follow-up shot. And see, Parker Wolf did a nice job penetrating, getting it up in the rim. Guards sometimes just get it up in the rim, and if you miss it, you can get an offensive rebound. That's what happened that time against that little trick defense that LS is playing.
Fouls on Wirt. That's his first. That is the third on LS here in the second half as Overball steps up to the line and misses. Here we go again. You know, and Hempfield has documented that they work on this so much at practice. Guys stay after. They won't leave until they hit 10 in a row. Hester, I believe, said, and Overball just misses everything that time.
Next play. Now, this is a big possession for LS. They have to try to get what they want. And I think what they're going to do is really spread the floor.
You heard Overball on Wednesday night tell us that he has the score on his wristband. He showed it to us from last year's title game as he collects the rebound off the Wirt miss. Now to 1:45 to go in the third. It's still a 1-point lead for Hempfield. Pena drives, pulls it back, finds Hester. Corner all alone. Wolf for 3 on the way. In and out. Hester tried to get the rebound. LS comes away with it and a chance to take the lead again.
They've had, this is their third possession to try to take the lead?
Burton, pull up three-pointer on the way. Got it!
That's
He is so good.
Well, the threat of him going to the basket enables him to be able to pull up on that stutter step dribble.
13 for Burton tonight, and LS gets the lead back by 2. Pena with a crossover out to the corner. Troyer gets it right back to him, and then Pena drives. Great defense by Vranich. Hester, who's been quiet offensively tonight, finds Wolf inside. He lays it in.
Again, interior passing by Hester. We've seen him do that all year. The interior passing by Hester was outstanding on that possession.
40 seconds to go. Burton with a sick crossover, and he drains the jumper.
That's the medium shot now.
This young man looks like he wants to take over the LL championship game with 25 seconds to go. Put his team back up by 2. Pena with 14 to go. Nice find inside for Hester. Stays with it, has it stripped. LS can hold for the final shot, down to 6.
We know who wants it.
Wirt down to 4. They can't get it to him. Peridot's got to fire it at the buzzer. Does it count?
Good bucket.
Basket counts. Isaiah Peridot, his second field goal of the night. And that gives LS a 4-point lead going to the 4th.
And Isaiah
38-34.
Peridot, he had to put the ball on the floor because they took away his shot. He put the ball on the floor and got his left hand, and he finished it right at the buzzer.
Tonight's LL championship game is brought to you by Dan Taylor Family Law. Is your will, durable power of attorney, and living will up to date? If not, you should see LLHoops.com sponsor Daniel K. Taylor. Dan can be reached at 717-945-6212 or see his ad on our website. He can initially speak to you over the phone or meet in his Lancaster office. Home appointments are available for the disabled. Just a 7-point quarter for Hempfield. And, you know, we like it low scoring if you're Hempfield, but man, oh man, is Burton starting to heat up.
Well, what happened that quarter, once Hempfield got up 4 a couple times, Coach Perryman went to the 1-3-1 half court, sort of a semi-trap. Wasn't an all-out trap. It was a 1-3-1. And then after Danny took the timeout, he went to a matchup box and won with Varnich face guarding Pena. And that's given Hempfield some problems. If they work the cutter through, and they can still screen for Pena on this to get him open.
LS will start with possession here in the 4th, up by 4, trying to claim their first LL title since 2018. Been a while for Hempfield, too. They were just here a season ago, and again, well documented, fell short by a point to Lebanon. Burton drives, trying to get it out to Wagner, and he threw it away.
Yep, he got a little too itchy that time. A little bit of over-penetration that time. Good defense by Hempfield.
You know,
and you can see the defense we're talking about here. They're matching up in the box, but Varnich is guarding Pena everywhere.
Hempfield showed that they could score with this team in the first half. My question is, if there's any kind of extension, can they score consistently with this LS team? As we get a foul. Troyer, are they going to say?
Well, what has to happen right now is somebody other than Pena has to score a couple buckets, and they put Reichert in to try to find an open shot. He's a 3-point shooter, and they're going to try to get him open against this matchup defense.
Foul by Burton on the inbound. For Ty, that is his first. Post-game show tonight, we will bring Coach Spiro back in for a couple of post-game thoughts as we await our player of the game. There's going to be a little bit of an extended celebration on the floor, so we have to wait until that is complete to get our player of the game up here. So we'll bring in Coach Spiro on our post-game show. Great find underneath by Pena, and Troyer patiently
Pena did exactly what you do against the trap. He leaned back, the defense came on, he stepped through it, and a great find.
It's down to 2 again, LS, and Vranich is tied up. The basket counts.
Tough shot.
And a foul for Luka Vranich.
Tough shot by Vranich. Just a tough shot.
Fouls on Cole Overball. That's his first. We're starting to see the fouls mount up here. Vranich hits the free throw.
All right, it's a big possession for Hempfield right now.
It's a 5-point LS lead as we are down to 6:45 to play for the Lancaster Lebanon League title.
Yep, that's
Offensive foul called on Hempfield. It's on Riker.
on the illegal pick. Okay, it's just right out there in the open. So Kenny Spence called it.
First foul on Riker. That's the third on Hempfield. So again, a well-played half. The fouls for LS are at 5, so they're starting to mount a little bit, but Hempfield's still in good shape as we're almost halfway through this fourth. Wirt hands it off to Vranich. Vranich crossover. Vranich drives. Vranich hangs off the window. No good as a rebound, and he puts it back in.
And he got fouled.
And another three-point opportunity for Vranich.
Vranich got the ball to the rim. The ball bounced back to him, and his timing was to get it and put it back up.
That's on Overball. That's his second. And Vranich completes it again. Back-to-back three-point plays for Luka Vranich, and all of a sudden it's an 8-point lead for LS.
Plenty of time. If Hempfield can get a score here, they got plenty of time. LS has done a nice job on this defense.
Yeah, it's their defense tonight that's played stout here in the second half.
Well, they've mixed it up a little bit.
Overball drives. Hester now to Troyer for three. Got it.
Yeah,
big bucket.
That's a big bucket, and that's 2 big buckets by him. Great pass by Hester to find the open man.
Full timeout called with 5:54 to go. And it's by LS. It's by Hempfield that called a timeout. So they are down to 2 timeouts remaining. LS has 4 left with 5:54. Still tons of time here. And it is a wild atmosphere here tonight. This is so fantastic to see from Manheim Township High School.
This is what it's all about right here, getting to the LL Finals. Both of these teams, just incredible performance so far tonight. We got 5:54 to go. There's going to be a lot going on in these last 5:54.
Yeah, there really will be. You know, we remarked, I remember last year when we were here that Saturday for the boys' title game, and we remarked at how great it was to see the crowd for that game. This is unbelievable tonight.
Let's see if Danny comes out in his and Hempfield comes out in their 1-2-2 half-court, three-quarter-court trap that they use at times, or if they're going to stick with the man-to-man. But like we said a while ago, for Hempfield to figure out LS's defense, somebody other than Pena has to score, and that's what happened the last 2 possessions. Now, Hempfield's coming out in that trap right now. Here it comes. And they've been very successful over this.
Vranich out of the timeout, gets him in the corner. Peridot drives, kicks it across to Wagner. Wagner pull up, gets it back to Peridot for 3. Got it!
That's what he does. Well, you got to give LS the credit to being very patient against that.
That's his second made 3 of the night. 47-39. It's an 8-point lead again for
Big
LS.
possession for the Black Knights.
Hester open, wide open. They left him open. Takes the 3. No. Vranich a rebound. LS, you can sense, even though there's a ton of time left here, you can sense they feel it right now.
They're going to have to. They're not going to be running man-to-man offense. They're going to have to keep it moving.
Wagner goes to the bucket, lost the handle, and he traveled.
Good defense by Hempfield. He had a layup.
Going to get a timeout called by Ed Berryman and LS.
Yeah, good timeout by Coach Berryman. I think he wants to get them settled down on what he wants to do against that 1-2-2, because they're going to see that as long as Hempfield's losing. They're going to see that.
They have 3 left. Hempfield has 2 left.
Yep, because that takes the ball out of Burton's hands.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Hearts Physical Therapy, a locally owned independent outpatient physical therapy clinic with 5 convenient locations in Lancaster County. They specialize in orthopedic rehabilitation, aquatic therapy, post-surgery, sports injuries, and vestibular therapy. Unparalleled patient outcomes and an average Net Promoter Score of 95 reflect their unwavering commitment to their patients. It's your choice where to go for physical therapy. Experience the difference that Hearts Physical Therapy can make in your recovery. Manheim Township High School, it's a good one here tonight in the LL Boys Championship game. It's LS with an 8-point lead as we are down to 4:58 to go to crown an LL champion. Hempfield trying to get one back as they lost this game a season ago. Eric Thomas and Warren Goodling with you here tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And don't forget, you can go back and watch this again on our YouTube channel after the fact. And maybe we might get a classic still, depending on what happens here the next 4:38. Troyer guarded by Burton. Riker. Troyer again. Pena has it. Pena will put it on the floor. Vranich goes out to guard him. Off to Troyer. Switches directions on Burton. Burton stays right with him.
Now they got a double ball screen here for Pena. And LS will see if they switch out on it. Well, they hedged it, and Vranich got back.
Pena drives. Gets it to Troyer. He's had a couple of big shots, trying to work his way free for another one.
Yep.
This defense by LS locked down right now on Hempfield. Pena drives, got loose, no, and Vranich had the rebound. Calabretta keeps it alive for Hempfield. Riker, they whip it around. Pena deep three, no. And the rebound back to Pena goes right between Ward, and he is fouled. Almost a huge three-point opportunity.
Almost, yep.
Pena looks like he's shaken up, too.
And he's working really hard on offense to get open, okay? So he's a little tired, but he's young and he's going to bounce back.
See him shake that right wrist.
That's a great shot.
That is a good sign to see. You know, we've talked about this Hempfield free throw shooting. 47% on the season.
But don't include Pena in that, because Pena's shot a solid percentage all year.
Yeah, he has been their best free throw shooter.
Yep, that's the guy you want on the line.
Perfect trip that time. Cuts it down to 6. 3.5 to go here from Manheim Township High School. LS and Hempfield.
All right, so what Eddie did that time against the half-court trap, he put Burton in the middle, but now it's not really the half-court trap. And now they'll be able to get him, when they go man-to-man, Burton will be able to handle the ball man-to-man.
Burton drives, floater out of control. He hits the deck. Out of
control, yep.
And we're going to get a charge call on Ty Burton.
And he was too anxious that time. They've got a 6-point lead with 3:14 to go. They didn't really need that at that point, and he knows it.
Burton also, again, missed the 4 games, so you just keep an eye on him. He says that his ankle is not going to be 100%.
I think his ankle's fine with 3:14 to go, right?
I think it feels okay tonight.
Yep.
He's had himself a pretty good game here as they get some compensation off the floor.
And this is a huge possession now for Hempfield because you're down 6. You need to score here, one way or the other. And Hempfield will be shooting 1-on-1 from this point out.
LS with 17 fouls as Pena drives. Pena to the rack. No, Vranich the rebound.
Great drive. I thought he would finish that one. And here's the half-court trap. And see if Burton can come out and get the ball.
Work gets it in the corner. Hester harassing him. Burton keeps it alive.
Yep, they have to get LS needs some spacing, need a guy in the middle, and everybody spread out.
Vranich kicks it back to Burton. Wagner.
He thought about it, didn't he?
He sure did. Oh, and Vranich throws it away.
Yep. Again, great defensive possession by Hempfield that time. Just digging in. And that time LS was confused. Should we score? Should we run the clock? And I think Burton has to go handle the ball a little bit more.
Inside it goes over, ball out to Troyer, open 3. Got another one. Ben Troyer, that is his 4th made 3 of the night.
Well, the mistake LS is making, they're sucking in on the overball when Troyer's wide open, and overball's been finding them.
Another turnover by LS. Up ahead it goes to Pena.
He's going to knock this one down.
Tie! Pena ties it up at 47.
Yep. See, so now Coach Walk has gone to the 1-2-2 trap. That's changed the complexion just like Eddie Berryman did in the third quarter.
Timeout on the floor called by LS. Hempfield a rally. It's a full timeout called, and it is the third called by LS. So each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Tonight's game is brought to you by Spooky Nook. You're the leader for all your basketball needs. Everything from tournaments, leagues, camps, and personal training, all at Spooky Nook. How about this rally by Hempfield? So we saw LS with the rally in the first half. Then we saw Hempfield with another one. Now we got Hempfield with another one here late in this game tonight.
They got 2 turnovers, and they came down over ball, made a great play to find Troyer on the perimeter, and he hit the 3. The sophomore's been confident all night, and Pena was just waiting to find an open shot, and he found it, and he said, I'm making this one, and he did.
Crowd is rocking here at Manheim Township High School. We got a good one, 47 apiece. 1:54 to go for the Lancaster Lebanon League title. Again, both these squads will move on to the district tournament. Now, LS will play Monday night. They are the number 1 seed in 5A. Hempfield will get a bye, and they will not play until a week from tonight. They either get Cedar Cliff or Muhlenberg.
Let's see the defense Hempfield comes out in right now. I think they're going to stick with the 1-2-2 because LS has had a hard time solving that one.
Wagner off the inbound.
Yep. Again, they're long on this trap.
This is what worked against Elko on a smaller court, too.
Yeah.
Burton gets loose. Wirt in the corner for 3 in the lead. No. Rebound, Hester.
Yep. Well, LS might have got what they want, but so did Hempfield. They got a miss, and they got the ball.
Pena walks it across the court. Hempfield can take the lead with 1:25 to go.
And you know, Pena is a cool operator out there, point guard. He's very calm, cool, and collected, trying to figure out what they're going to do to get a shot. And right now, they're going to be very patient with it.
It looks that way. Set up the screen. Pena doesn't use it. Corner, Troyer, he's got the hot hand here of late. Pena, screen, Troyer. Pena drives, gets it out to the corner and over ball. Quickly out of his hands to Riker, back to Pena. Under a minute to go, 50 seconds to play for the LL title. Pena tied up in the corner, and he is going to call a timeout right in front of his own bench. So Hempfield's going to have 1 timeout left with 46 seconds left to go. Tonight's game is brought to you by H&L Team Sales. H&L Team Sales provides uniforms, team shops, and other clothing equipment to schools and teams throughout the LL, York, and Berks regions. Contact H&L today at 717-392-3010 or online at www.hlteamsales.com. 46 seconds to play for the league title. And it's LS and Hempfield knotted at 47 and a good one.
If you're Hempfield, are you going for the last shot?
We've seen the possessions tonight where they've worked 45 seconds off the clock, so why not?
I mean, they've worked it so far now. He has to make the decision what he's going to do on defense. If he's going to, pressure them and not let them get the last shot, or is he going to be content to let them get the last shot and go to overtime? So you wonder if he's going to be aggressively looking to foul somebody if they get the ball in a certain situation.
And the other thing I would say, too, is if you're Hempfield, can you feel content going to overtime on this floor again? Because in the back of the mind of these guys.
No, they want to win it. They want to win it. They want to score now and get a stop. And Hempfield wants to win it right now. They're going to take, if they have an open shot, I think they're going to go for the win.
Hester to inbound with 46.7 to go.
And LS is still in that little box, matchup box, and one. You can see they trade guys off on the 4-man zone.
Pena drives and pulls it back. It looks like they will waste more time. We're down to 35 to go.
They'll get to a point where
Riker gets it back to Pena with 25 seconds to play. Pena, they go backdoor to Troyer. Reverse layup is blocked. Here comes Burton with a chance to take the lead. Burton going 1-on-3 is stripped and fouled. A tough call on Troyer with 18.7 seconds left.
Yeah, but it's not a shooting foul.
It's not a shooting foul because Hempfield has fouls to give.
It's not a shooting foul.
That's only the 5th foul on Hempfield.
So LS has.
It's not a shooting foul.
It's not a shooting foul because
Right.
Hempfield has fouls to give.
And they can run an out-of-bounds play, get it in. They can go for the last shot. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Walk's going to do defensively. Is he going to match up here, or is he going to try to get back into his half-court trap?
18.7 seconds to play. It will be LS possession out of the timeout. Burton has been quiet of late. Peridot's got a big 3 in this quarter. Vranich has 6 points in the quarter. That is all the scoring for LS in the quarter right now.
Well, the 1-2-2 half-court trap has taken Burton basically out of the game because when he handles it out top, okay, they double him up and he has to give it up. And when he gets the ball in the middle, okay, they're collapsing on the baseline so he can't drive, and he's basically a passer in there.
At stake for LS, not just the LS title or the LL title, but their undefeated record. Can they keep it alive here tonight?
Well, going undefeated in the regular season is an incredible accomplishment. Right now, they're not even thinking about that. They just want to find a way to win the game.
Goes without saying, I mean, it is the first time since 1959 they finished the season undefeated.
Yep.
That is a remarkable accomplishment.
So they're going to run 4 flat, and
it is Wagner to inbound with 18.7 to go. He gets it into Vranich. Vranich hands it off to Wagner. Wagner to Burton. Burton with 10 to go for the LL title. 10 seconds for the LL title. Burton drives. Now he pulls it back. Ty pulls up for 3 on the way. In and out. Got the rebound. And it falls with 2 seconds left. And Hempfield quickly calls a timeout. Timeout before the inbound. Burton got the friendly roll. We got fans on the court. They got to get off the floor. There is still going to be time left. There should be time left. As Hempfield called a timeout, their final timeout. 2.4 seconds are left. So Hempfield got the timeout right as that ball banked in and they went to inbound it. That is enough time to get the ball inbound, up the court, and attempt to heave to tie it.
well, you have a full court play that you can get the ball up to half court, and then maybe you have a back screen, a guy shapes up and gets the ball for a jumper. But if you're LS, you're not guarding anybody inside of that 3-point line. You are having your whole defenders outside here, and they'll probably put a man on the ball. They're going to put a man on the ball.
And do not foul under any circumstance.
No, you can't foul. And you have to just make them, or you could foul in a cut.
We'll see. Now, timeout.
There's a lot of decisions that you have to make. Are you going to foul when they first get it in and put them at the line for one-on-one, or are you just going to
make sure they're not shooting the 3.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Exactly.
That is the key.
And they'll have a ladder play here. They got a shooter down at the corner. They got a shooter at second. They're not putting any, or they are putting Holmes on the ball, who just came in. He's the longest guy they have.
Inbound.
LS should switch every one of these picks.
Inbound to Hester. They get it into Overball. He does not have a 3 made this season. He fires from half court. Overball misses, and LS stays undefeated and wins the Lancaster Lebanon League title by a final of 50-47 as they swarm the floor. Ty Burton with the game-winning 3-pointer. The sophomore continues his ridiculous tournament, and LS for the first time since 2018 is your Lancaster Lebanon League champions. What a game from Manheim Township High School as the student section comes down to celebrate. What a game.
Unbelievable. And only Ty Burton could have made that shot. Only Ty Burton. Maybe Pena could have made it too, but Ty Burton, you saw it coming. When he got the ball with 11 seconds to go, you saw it coming, and he was going to take the last shot regardless.
They will clear the students as the two teams shake hands, and LS is your Lancaster Lebanon League champs for 2021-22.
But congratulate Hempfield for incredible effort tonight. I know this one really stings for the Black Knights, but they've got a lot to look forward to in the district tournament and the state tournament. They're a very fine basketball team, Section 1 co-champs, and they'll bounce back from this.
Yeah, Hempfield is on to the district tournament. Again, they get a bye. They're the 4th seed in 6A, so they get a bye. They will await the winner of Cedar Cliff and Muhlenberg. LS still undefeated, and they will play Mechanicsburg on Monday night as the number 1 seed in the 5A tournament. What a game tonight. First time again since 2018. Ed Berryman, his second LL title as head coach of the Pioneers. 24-0.
Yeah, not easy to do. Not easy to do. Both coaches were outstanding tonight. How about the chess match that was going on between these two? They both came out in the first half. They all played man-to-man. In the second half, they brought out some stuff with LS going to a 1-3-1 to change it up when Hempfield had the momentum. Then they went to that little matchup box and won. And then Coach Walk got his team back in the game by going to that half-court trap. And they came right back into the game. Coaching clinic tonight, to be quite honest.
It really was. It really was. Outstanding game by everybody involved. Well played as far as fouls. Obviously, the fouls kind of started to mount a little bit late in that game, but not really of any consequence there.
No.
Not a ton of turnovers in this game either.
No.
And it was all defensively forced. It really wasn't, outside of a couple of them, not really just careless turnovers. This was a well-played game.
Well-played game by two well-coached teams, two outstanding programs, first-class coaches, outstanding program. The players were really good. Both teams, the players buy into the team concept, and they played a game. Just a great LL League final.
One of the final scoring numbers for Hempfield. They were led tonight by Ben Troyer, who had 16, and he was phenomenal in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. He was great.
2 monster threes in the fourth quarter, and he finished with 10 of his 16 points in the second half to try to will his team back into it. Miguel Pena also had a big three in the fourth. He finished with 15. 8 for Parker Wolf, 6 for Cole Overbaugh, and 2 for Michael Hester for Hempfield. For LS tonight, Ty Burton with 18. He was the only player for this high-powered LS team in double figures. This matches their lowest margin of victory from the season.
We said in this beginning, or we said earlier, we thought this game was going to be low 50s at the highest, okay, and it just barely got there.
Yeah, we figured, it's unless you're really, really good, it's going to be very tough to keep this LS team in the 40s.
Yeah.
And the last two finals have been played in the 40s. There was not a chance that was going to happen tonight. I don't care how good Hempfield's defense is, but they had to keep it around where it was. They did. Yeah.
And Hempfield did everything they could to win the game. They were right in the ball game.
Burton with 18 tonight, and he also drilled 4 3-pointers on the night, and then it's just balanced across the board. Wagner comes back in the lineup with 9. Vranich has 8. Peridot's got 8. 5 for Ben Wirt. He had a big 3 in the second half. And Chase Smucker off the bench with 2. Rounds out the scoring for LS. What a game here tonight at Manheim Township High School. And again, we will have a player of the game up here for you in moments, as we got to wait until they clear everything up off the floor down there, and then we'll get your player of the game interview, and hopefully we can get Ed Berryman up here as well. He was gracious enough to talk to us the last time we did an LS game, so hopefully we can get him up here again tonight. So our post-game show, we'll bring back Lebanon head coach Tim Spiro. What the hell do you say about that?
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow, what a game. Just a great high school basketball game right there.
How about just the ebbs and flows of this game? And we saw LS make a nice run there. It looked like for a minute they were just going to extend and pull away. And to me, one of the big questions tonight was, could Hempfield score if this game got into the 60s and 70s?
Right.
And I think they probably could have if we would have played a little bit longer. I think they showed enough of that tonight. The question then became, could they score with them, even if it's lower scoring? Could they keep going with them late in the game? And obviously they were able to.
Right. And if you would have told me that the winner of this game had 50 points, I would have said it would have been Hempfield.
Yeah, that's what
I thought LS had to get over 60 to put it away. But I thought two of the key plays were the 2 and 1s for Branich.
Yeah.
Those were huge, but then Hempfield comes back and knocks down 2 straight threes. What a game!
That was incredible. I didn't know that it would get better than the Warwick-Mannheim game here a couple of years ago. That was better. And last year's game was tremendous too. You know, last year's game in a nutshell, you hate to see it end on the free throw thing.
Right.
You want to see it end like on a 3 like that. No disrespect, I know, but it adds that gut-wrenching element to it. I know you're happy about it, but from a neutral observer, you kind of want to see the kid at least shoot a half-court shot or something like that to try to tie it. But, man, oh, man, was that good tonight. What do you say if you're Hempfield? This is 2 years in a row now.
It's tough. It's tough. I know that I'm sure Coach Walk wanted the last shot there at the end to at least either go to overtime or they win it. And I'm sure, Troyer thought he probably had a solid reverse layup that he's made 1,000 times in his life.
And he's got the hot hand at that point, too.
He's hit everything. I would have definitely trusted him taking the shot. It's just tough. And then you know Burton's getting the last shot, and you know where it was coming from too, and it was contested, and they had a hand up. It's just he got the bounce. That could have very easily just bounced right out, and we're watching 4 more minutes of basketball.
Do you think this is the best the league has been in a while in terms of balance? I mean, Columbia could have very well been here tonight too, and they may have won this thing too.
Right.
And we're talking lower class. I know LS is 5A, but you go a little lower, and Columbia certainly could have hung with either.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that could have been here today, and obviously LS proved it all year long. This was I think this was the toughest stretch of competition for them. This week probably because of just playing the bigger schools, but they proved that they belong, and they proved that they could play with anybody.
The shooting of Burton, what did you see defensively that they did to him in that second half where they were really starting to limit him? I mean, he got red hot for a minute, and in the third quarter could not be stopped. And all of a sudden, the Hempfield defense, they put him in the middle of the floor. They denied him a lot of times. But like Coach Goodling said, you knew with 10 seconds to go, you could see it coming a mile away that he was getting the ball in his hands. You're going to live or die with that kid.
Absolutely. If you have a kid with that kind of skill and he can get his own shot from anywhere. That's the special part about him is not only can he get his own shot, but he knocks him down. He didn't make – I don't know if he made one open shot. Everything he took was a hand in his face and a guy up on his body.
He's not exactly the tallest kid either.
He's not. He's something special. He can get his shot off anytime he wants.
Your thoughts on the defense tonight, because we thought one of the keys was going to be Hempfield's defense being with the length, limiting. Did they do a solid enough job to win the game tonight with that length, or did LS just find too many cracks?
I think they did a good enough job. I mean, you hold LS to 50 points. You're doing something right. They're dangerous. They can score from anywhere, and they have 5 guys on the court that all of them can score. I mean, Ranich isn't a 3-point shooter, but he still creates, gets his own buckets, and like I said, he had 6 straight points that were huge. There, I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yep. All right, sir. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you. Good luck in the district tournament. You got Warwick coming up next week, so good luck with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tim Spiro, the head coach of Lebanon, our guest here tonight on the postgame show as we await our player of the game. I got a pretty good idea who that's going to be when we can get him up here. We've been asked to wait a little bit until the celebration goes on and we get some of the players a chance to get the trophy, cut the net down, and then we'll get Ed Berryman. And if Dell doesn't get us Ty Burton, he's fired. It's as simple as that. As here he comes now. Well, they're going to pull him away and get him a clip of the net, and then we'll get him up here. And hopefully Ed Berryman can come up here as well to talk to us here tonight. So LS, 50-47, Burton the game-winning three-pointer. Who else? I mean, this kid's done everything in 2 years, and I'm sure the LS program is absolutely thrilled that he made the return trip from Florida to come back to his home and play with his hometown boys and win an LL title, as Delhi is going to bring Ty Burton up here. He is getting some congratulatory hugs from some of the fans down there. This kid is something special, and He would be virtually unstoppable if he was 6'2". He might be the best player in the state if he was a little taller, but
I don't think it really matters.
I don't think it matters either.
No.
Does not matter either, as he is going to come on up here for some post-game comments. And we'll try to get Ed Berryman, too. He's down there talking to some of the media right now. And he's got to get up there and cut a piece of the net as well. And, yep, let's see. Ty will take a seat here. How good does that net feel in your hands right now?
Man, it feels amazing. It really does. Oh, my goodness.
So tell me about because we're up here watching this, and we figure the ball's going in your hands no matter what in the closing seconds. When you shot that, what are you thinking when you shot that? You got to fall back and watch this thing take 7 bounces off the rim and then finally hit the backboard and go in.
I knew it was going to go in before it left my hand. I mean, the timeout called. I went over to the team hall and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna end this right now. And Razor left my hand. I was like, "That's game." And I knew it. I knew from the start. I knew Razor left my hand. I knew that ball was going to go in the hoop.
You had a tremendous hot streak there in that third quarter. You didn't quite hit them early. You tested them early on, but you didn't quite hit them early. But you kept going, and that's the mark of a great shooter right there. You got to just keep going, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're not going to hit shots if you stop shooting after a miss. You know, next shot's going in. That's the mentality. You know, you can't break down, especially in a big game like this. I know I had to hit shots down the stretch, and I just had to have trust in myself, have trust in the work that I put in.
How big were Luka's 2 3-point plays?
Oh my goodness, that was a whole game changer right there. I mean, he's a senior though, but he's done that. He's done that before. We knew he could do that. I mean, he's been that it factor for us this whole entire year.
Now at 24-0. Now you've entered can't lose territory.
Yeah. Same mindset as always, you know. One game at a time. We don't think about our record, you know. Going into the LO playoffs, we didn't think about our record at all because we knew anyone could beat anyone. I mean, look, three-point game. We knew. We don't think about that. I mean, once again, it's 0-0 going in districts.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Great shot tonight. Congratulations on a big win. Ty Burton's our player of the game tonight. 18 points as LS wins the Lancaster Lebanon League Championship tonight by a count of 50-47. So that's going to do it for us here tonight from Manheim Township High School. We hope you enjoyed that one. You can feel free to go back on our YouTube page and check out the replay of that. Ty Burton, the game-winning 3. Let's get Coach in here for a couple final comments before we wrap this up. What a season. We saw this LS team right at the beginning of our coverage this season, and, you know, we knew Burton was something special. We knew that last year, but we had a feeling about this team when we saw them early on in the season. Well,
they had the pieces and they had the chemistry. When you watch them play in the beginning of the year, you just sense the specialness of them. They had a superstar in Burton, but he was unselfish, and the kids did whatever they could to get him the ball. He got them the ball. So they had those intangible qualities that you look for in the championship team.
In the stages that we saw them early season, mid-season, and now at the end of the season, or at least at the end of the LL season. Each time we've seen them, they've been better. They were more tested here tonight than what we saw in the past.
Absolutely.
We saw them in the past, but I think better tonight because they answered that challenge.
They had to be at their best tonight to beat a really, really good Hempfield team that brought their A game. They had to be at their best, and
may not be the best in terms of shooting percentage and all the statistics stuff, but as far as how they played tonight was definitely the best.
And they had to make adjustments through the game. They just couldn't play man-to-man and run up and down. They had to change some things. They had to try to create some momentum with their defense by going to that 1-3-1 in the third quarter. And then once Hempfield called a timeout, they came out into that, I call it a box matchup, and won. They face-guarded Pena, and they guarded the other 4 guys. They traded them off in switches like a matchup zone. So they had to have a wide variety of things to do tonight to win this game. They just didn't go out and show up and win.
At some point, Danny Walk's got to break through. I want to have a beer with that man and pick his brain because at some point that team has got to break through.
Well, he won the LL title his first year, and he's got some more years to coach, and he's going to be back here again to give it another shot. He's going to win one coming up very soon. I can tell you that now.
I think he is going to come back with a fire that we have not seen, much like they did this season, and see if he can get them early. They got a really nice crop of young players.
Well, Danny just has done a phenomenal job on developing the program all the way up through. When you when you see them play 1 year, you've seen them play 2 years, they play the same way, and they do the same good stuff, and they find ways to win games. And he just does a great job in developing the kids throughout the program.
Enjoyed it, my friend. That was a fun season.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach Goodling and I bid you adieu here tonight from Manheim Township High School. Final score for the final time. Congratulations to LS. They beat Hempfield tonight to win the Lancaster 11 League Championship, 50-47 on Ty Burton's game-winning three-pointer with 2.4 seconds left. They are both on to the district tournament, and we wish them and all the LL teams playing on into the month of March all the luck in the world. Great season here for us here at LLHoops.com. That'll do it for our coverage, so we'll talk to you down the line.